You gotta be tough to play hockey. Some hockey fans say hockey is harder than football. You wanna settle that score? Let's ask an orthopedic surgeon.
Ice hockey is a contact sport like American football. The difference is that the skaters are moving at a much higher rate of speed than the athletes running on the football field. So as a result of the higher speeds and the risk of running into more rigid objects, the degree of force put onto the body can be much higher at times for hockey players than for football players.
A shoulder injury can impact the strength and control that's crucial for hockey. Here's a quick anatomy lesson.
The shoulder joint has many anatomical components to it. At its basis, it consists of the humerus, which is the upper arm, has a ball at the end of it that connects with the glenoid, which is a socket-like structure that's part of the shoulder blade. Enclosing that structure together are the ligaments, muscles, and tendons that support the structure of the shoulder to provide its stability.
So the shoulder's more than just a ball and socket?
The scapula is the unsung hero of the shoulder. There's 17 muscles that attach to the scapula. If you have poor scapular function, you have a hard time performing athletic activities and even everyday activities. The collarbone is the basic strut that connects the entire shoulder girdle to the chest wall. And it's a really important structure for function of the entire shoulder. And it can be fractured, or broken is another way of looking at that. Now, when people have injuries around the shoulder, the scapular, the shoulder blade muscles also will become uncoordinated.
You can't make a 100-mile-per-hour slap shot with uncoordinated muscles. What's really happening inside the shoulder when a blues player is winding up to go top shelf?
So the shoulder is an important joint when a hockey player goes to take a slap shot. The player is really forcing that shoulder into what we call an abducted, externally rotated position away from the body, and then rapidly accelerating and rotating that shoulder down in order to hit the puck on goal. And through that, you require both the flexibility to get into the starting position and then the strength and agility to rapidly bring the shoulder down and through into the striking the puck and follow through after the shot. And the slap shot really requires coordination of both the larger muscle groups around and outside the shoulder, as well as the four smaller muscles of the rotator cuff inside the joint to provide the force and control to get off a hard slap shot on goal.
Getting the puck means opening yourself up to a check. That can send your shoulder into the boards with a lot of force.
When the athlete is thrown into the boards in a way that the arm is involved as well as the shoulder itself, then that can put force on the glenohumeral joint and actually create a subluxation or dislocation where there's an injury to the labrum. Those injuries are the types of injuries that may end up requiring surgery in order to get a full recovery of the shoulder.
You just talked about a shoulder dislocation. Is that different from a shoulder separation? Sounds like they both hurt.
There's a big difference between a separated shoulder and a dislocated shoulder. A dislocated shoulder is when the ball, the humeral head, pops out of the socket, the glenoid, and tears the labrum, which keeps it in place. This is often seen when a player slips and falls on the ice and lands on his outstretched upper extremity, where the ball actually pops out of the socket. Oftentimes, a player has a shoulder separation when he lands on his outstretched upper extremity, or he's hit into the boards, or he falls on his shoulder, in which case the ligaments that keep that structure between the collarbone, the clavicle, and the acromion stable, they are torn to various degrees.
Even if you aren't playing one of the toughest sports in the world, anyone can get a shoulder injury. It's reassuring to know that medical science is always focused on getting us back in the game.
Orthopedic surgeons treat a variety of conditions in athletes and non-athletes alike. Through the use of biomechanics, cell biology, and advances in both diagnostics and instrumentation, we can treat a lot of injuries a lot more accurately and a lot more quickly than we could years ago. We use science on a daily basis in order to advance what we do for our patients.
So I guess there's more riding on the Blues' shoulders than we initially thought. And that's the science of St. Louis Blues hockey. Check out our other episodes and learn more about the science of St. Louis Blues hockey. Go to barnesjewish.org/science of blues hockey.